hiding from your grace. I can't deny your heart for mine, and it's unrelenting chase. I was on the edge of deception, caught up in my own hesitation, until your love took over me. Whoa. So I let go and I let love show me life like it's supposed to be. An oasis here awaits us, all the freedom I'd ever need. Now I'm alive,
Welcome to our second part of the elephant in the room. We talked about last week about Adam and Eve and how they had some unresolved issues pending, and they didn't address those things, which ultimately led into crisis, where now Cain kills his younger brother because nothing was ever addressed. Today I want to talk about continuity to what we mentioned last week. I want to deal with how do we address the elephant in the room. How do we do it? We talked about what are the issues, but now we need some practical steps that we could take to address the elephant in the room from a biblical perspective. So how do we handle the elephant in the room? Here's how. My first point is we must speak truth in love. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 15 says, speaking truth in love may grow up in all things unto him who is the head, which is Christ. And I put that verse specifically because some of us are good at telling the truth, but we speak truth with anger, bitterness, revenge, hatred. And sometimes you can speak the truth, and the truth you speaks hurts and destroy. But Jesus says, you shall know the truth, and the truth makes you free. So it's not just speaking the truth. We have to speak the truth in love. What would happen if you would take the truth you know about someone and you apply a little bit of love into it? I promise people would appreciate the truth you're conveying when it stems out of love, when it comes out of the right spirit. So number one, we must speak truth in love. Number two, we must respond with a good character. James chapter 1 verse 19 says, everyone must be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. And this is one of our problems sometimes, that sometimes when we're trying to confront the elephant in the room, we don't want to hear nobody. We just want to talk and talk and talk. And for the most part, we're justifying ourselves. But Paul says, or James says, he says, we ought to be quick. If we want to be quick at something, let's be quick at hearing. Let's be quick at listening. Let's be quick in paying attention before we even speak, or before we go about into exhibiting anger and frustration. So how do I address the elephant in the room? I must address it with truth, speaking truth in love. I must address it by responding with a good character. Number three, very important, measuring your words. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 3 says, the one who guards his mouth preserves life. The one who guards his mouth preserves his life, but the one who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. Measure your words. Because here's the truth about everything you say. Everything you say, once it's gone, once it comes out of your mouth, it's not coming back. Once you speak it, can't come back. Once it's out of your lips, once you speak it, Isaiah 55:11, look what it says. Isaiah 55:11 says, so is my word that comes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. So you have to measure your words. Measure your words. Speak with love. Respond with a good character. Find the right, listen, it's good to find the right words to say before you say it. Because once it comes out, my friend, it is not coming back. Here's another one. Address the elephant in the room with justice. Job 27:4 says, my lips certainly will not speak unjustly, nor will my tongue mutter deceit. That when you're confronting an elephant in the room, don't speak half truth with half a lie. Speak the truth. Don't bring in deception when you speak. Don't mutter deceit. Don't twist the truth. No. To confront the elephant in the room, we must do it with justice, with righteousness, with love. We must do it understanding that we're in the business of restoration and restitution, not destruction and calamity. Addressing the elephant with justice. Here's another one. Responding with a sweet spirit. Responding with a sweet spirit. Proverbs 15:1 says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Have you ever been in an argument or a discussion with your spouse or anyone in your family, and you just don't want to go backward, and you just don't want to go down, and the higher they get, the higher you get, and we're just fighting to see who sings the loudest, screams the loudest, shouts the loudest? But Solomon says a gentle answer can turn away wrath. A gentle answer can sometimes solve the problem in the home. A gentle answer. No, but I want to win, Pastor. I'm in the business of winning. Well, you might win a fight, but lose a marriage. You might win an argument, lose your son. You might win an argument, lose your mother. The Proverbs is telling us a gentle answer can turn away wrath, but a harsh word, well, that's just the way I am. If you don't like it, too bad. Well, you got to be tough now. No. A harsh word can stir up anger. So we have to ask God to give us the capacity to speak with a sweet spirit. Sweet spirit. Proverbs 15:5. I don't think I have it here, but Proverbs 15:5 says, a soothing tongue is like a tree of life, but perversion in it crushes the spirit. This is what God is telling us. And lastly, Colossians chapter 4 verse 6 says, let your speech always be with grace. Let your speech always be with grace, as though seasoned with salt, so that you will know how to respond to each person. So that you will know how to respond to each person. Now, there's a way to break the cycle of the elephant. There is a way. Romans chapter 6 verse 12 says, do not let sin reign in your mortal bodies, for sin shall no longer be your master. Do not let sin reign in your mortal body. That word reign in the Greek is kurio, which means do not let sin be the Lord of your life. Do not let sin be the Lord of your life. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 19 says, while they promised them liberty, they themselves were slaves of corruption, for by whom a person is overcome, by him also he is brought to bondage. People are slaves to whatever masters them. People are slaves to whatever masters them. That's what Jesus is saying. You cannot let that thing be your slave. You cannot let it be your Lord. You cannot let it be your master. Do not let sin reign over your mortal bodies. So I want to encourage you today to allow God to give you the capacity to exercise these things that I've shared with you that will help you become a person of wisdom, grace, speaking truth in love, so that everyone in your circle can grow to the stature of Christ. Next week, we're going to talk about things that you can identify that may be those things that are the addictions of your life because of unresolved issues that you have pending. So up until next week, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to take these Bible verses we shared and go over them and ask the Holy Spirit to help you in these areas to grow, so that you can see progress in your relationships, and God can give you the grace and the wisdom to deal with the elephants in your room. Until next week, God bless you and God keep you.